of entertainment, current events, and Hollywood. Don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Hey, thanks for having me. My name's Dylan.
Welcome. I love going back to the beginning. I always say the beginning, charts our trajectory in life, our little habits we pick up along the way, follow us into our adulthood. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was that like, and how did you find your way into music?
Well, my childhood was filled with music, really. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really have much, being raised wasn't really like, I didn't have much emotional attachment with my parents, you know what I mean? So, like, I'd say music was like a big part of me being raised, you know what I mean? I think music taught me a lot, and emotionally, it was that safe place, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like a therapist.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think music is super therapeutic, and also healing, for
Absolutely.
sure. Um, were there any early on, like growing up, any early like influences as far as like musically that you were like inspired by?
I was big into when it comes to rap, I mean obviously like big into Eminem, you know what I'm saying? Like everything else
Yeah.
growing up, I wasn't really into any other artists except like, rock music was my thing. Like when it came to rap, I didn't really listen to any rap except like Eminem. But like rock
Oh,
music was my thing for sure. Like until I got like now, I listen to everything now, but
nice. Um, so I love first of all, I got to hear the song, and I really like the things that you were talking about on the song. Um, when growing up in rural Indiana, surrounded by silence and isolation, how did that environment shape who you became, would you say?
I'm not really it made it to where I'm not so easily influenced by people. Like
Nice.
I was able to find that firm identity within myself. I think being out in the country, didn't have any neighbors or anything. It made me, I was so close to my dog, you know what I'm saying? Like I had friends, but we didn't really connect like, every day. It wasn't like I could just go to a friend's house after school. And they did a lot of four-wheeler riding and all that stuff and being outside or whatever it was.
That's awesome. Um, what did peace and privacy teach you often that the world forgets? Like because we're surrounded by so much, like being in Los Angeles, I was there for 14 years. The big city, I'm from Florida originally. So
Yeah.
living in Los Angeles was just like, it was awesome. But it's like, to me, it was just like, it felt like it was just so much going on at all times.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I'd say being where I'm from, it's like the privacy, it a lot of people forget, what the main important things in life, like because of all the noise, you know what I'm saying? Like when you live in a city, you're always gonna be distracted by all the noise and you kind of forget your priorities, like
Hmm.
family and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Whenever you got your thoughts and just your thoughts and you're just sitting there in the quiet and no social media or anything, you
I love
really
that.
you really actually just start to like naturally be drawn to the things that matter in life, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Getting into your awesome song, what
Thank you.
inspired this work of art, and what was the process making this project like?
So it was what inspired it was okay, so like it's produced by Lewin Elliott out of Nashville, and he's like a big time industry producer and engineer. And sent me the guitar riff because I planned on going down there to record it. You know what I mean? And we're coming up with the songs beforehand for
Mhm.
me to have done, so I could have it memorized or at least like have it down how I want it to be when I get there. But he sent me the guitar riff, and it was like guitar, and it was like I want to make like a hybrid song, is what I was thinking, like a between rock and rap. like I wanted to like do some kind of a like I wanted the beginning to be like rap and then it turned into like rock towards the end, but like not necessarily rock like Linkin Park kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what the song's inspired by is it's inspired by I had a lot of doubt in this town, like a lot of people basically it felt really weird investing full time into making music and making dreams come true in this small town with small minds, you know what I mean? And not everybody has
Mm,
small minds, but not everybody has small minds, but it's like you can't really you can't really like it's hard to think outside of his town, you know what I mean?
mhm,
It's so boxed in. And I say the most important thing that about the purpose to get from the purpose to get from the word from the song is that not to let anyone else influence your decisions and what you
mm.
want to do in life. And like I've came a long way. I've grown a lot since that song was made and since I started. And I think the biggest looking back, it's like I'm glad I didn't ever listen to the outside voices. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, I feel like that's kind of how it felt like growing up in Florida, growing up Gainesville, Florida, to be exact, Tim Tebow. But I felt like I needed to branch out and leave because if I stayed, I felt like I could be easily influenced. And I think, what
Mhm.
like what that saying, what you hang out with or what you hang around, you become or you overcome them. It's and I think that it takes a strong mindset, like you said, to um beat those limiting self-beliefs and especially with being in a small town that most people kind of majority think the same and you're like no I want to
Yeah.
do different. Yeah, did you have any support from family or was it more so just friends that people like that were more supportive, or were you surprised at the people that kind of fell away when you started pursuing music?
I was surprised. Yeah, that's a good question. You realize who your true friends are.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I even had like relationships fall apart. Like, like with my baby mama, music, I say, was a big catalyst for like it falling apart. And she has
Mm,
talent. She has talent too. I wanted to build together, you know what I mean? And it
I
just,
guess it.
yeah. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now in my life where it's like, I'm like at that crossroads right now. I'm like, I'm almost there. I'm at the finish line of like where I want to be
Yeah.
at. It's not the finish line, really. It's gonna be just the beginning, you know what I mean? You ever get that
Yeah.
feeling where like something big is coming? It's just
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what it is.
Absolutely. I love
And
that.
yeah, and like I'm at the crossroad. It's like when you're close to the finish line, you're naturally going to be tired,
Yes.
exhausted, like you feel like you're done. You feel like you don't have any cards left. That's kind of the only thing
Absolutely.
I got is that faith. So
What keeps you like how do you like what how did you keep that faith? What do you like what do you remind yourself when you're in this moment like now? How do you keep yourself reminded like okay, something good is happening? Because I'm sure there with everything that happens around you, it's easy to fall prey to it
hmm
and let it beat you.
I think the biggest thing is the passion keeps it alive no matter what, because it's always something
Mhm.
I'm gonna really enjoy to do. But other than the passion, it's stubbornness. The stubbornness, I'm very stubborn. I'm not gonna start something, get this far and quit.
Mhm.
And even even if it doesn't look logical anymore, even if I'm to that point where things aren't looking logical, you know what I mean? I still got to do it because I put God in the mix because I feel like God sent me here to do this. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. What did writing poetry in notebooks turn into or sorry, how did writing poetry in notebooks turn into full songs and a career path for you?
So yeah, when I started writing, I started writing poetry, and I think it was a heartbreak. You know what I mean? With my baby mama at the time,
Hmm.
I started writing, and it turned into it turned into rap because I had an instrumental on when I was writing, and it was so I started rapping it out loud, the poem that I wrote, but I never rapped at that point. You know what I'm saying? And so in the
Mm,
beginning, it was too many words that I had in there. I had way too many words, and it over time I learned how to take actually count my syllables for every bar, and I slowly actually, became a legit rapper. I've always been a singer, you know what I'm saying? Like I've always sang. I've always been a singer,
Nice.
and like, but rap and rap music, rap lyrics, and rock lyrics, they're a little bit different. Like, you know what I mean? It's just
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, you can kind of get a mixture of them, but
That's awesome.
I do all kinds of different experiments with my lyrics, but
Nice.
yeah, I think rap has that certain structure to it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Would you say that because I would think like, um making this project and this song,
Mhm.
I love hearing the process of it all. Have you ever dabbled and dabbled into the producer side of things and making the beats, or you
Yeah,
just kind of go into the project knowing what you want, how you want it to sound, and then you just hire someone to do it, and then you just kind of make it a collaborative effort?
it's always best. Like anytime I've done the producing aspect, it's always best whenever like you are there for the beat being made. I prefer
Yeah.
someone else to be producing and engineering because I never went to school for it. So
Okay.
there's some things that I do that's not the traditional or the proper, way. I use my ear to teach me what every plugin is and everything, but I have produced beats that, turned into really great songs and everything. It's not what I'm the artist. I prefer to have an
Hmm.
engineer and producer do it. But whenever I'm in a situation where I have a producer, like I'm in a studio somewhere or whatever, and like they're working on all that side of stuff, the song always ends up being 10 times better. For one, I only got to
Yeah.
focus on my end, and for two, whenever I do a part, like say if I go off beat a little bit or whatever,
Mhm.
if he's a good producer or engineer, like he's gonna tell me like, hey, no, let's do another take, right? And if it's a really good producer, he'll mix certain parts of those takes together to make that verse. You know what I mean?
Nice.
The
Yeah.
proper way it's done. And also when I'm writing to the beat that ain't fully made yet, where I can just hear the guitar or hear
Hmm.
whether or not we're using samples or we're using actual, if he's actually playing it with which Invincible was, like the guitar and Invincible and all that. It was an actual guitar. He was playing guitar, and
Nice.
like there was no samples. Like everything was with his MIDI or
That's
his,
awesome.
with instruments. So yeah, that's why it's such a unique song. And that's why, like he was Yellow Wolf's producer and engineer
Oh,
for like
okay.
7 years. And like yeah, he produced the song Fall in the Fall where he co-produced the song Fall in the Fall by Jelly Roll and Yellow Wolf. Not Yellow Wolf, Circle K.
Nice.
And yeah, he's been in the industry. He's mixed songs for Taylor Swift and stuff. Like he mixed Yellow Wolf's part on that song Best Friends by Eminem and Yellow Wolf.
Nice.
Yes,
Wow, I
he's
love
pretty big
that.
dog. Yeah.
That's awesome that you got that collaboration. That's great. That says a lot
Mhm.
about you and what you offer and what you bring to the table. So, that's a
Yeah.
great thing.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
a
say
great thing.
he believed like he let me come over to his crib and we worked on it, you know what I mean, rather than going into
Nice.
this. He has a really nice studio in his crib, and now I got to rap on the Yellow Wolf's mic. And I mean it was his mic that he recorded trunk music with. So like
Nice.
yeah, so like it was really cool experience.
I love that. So I love asking this question on this show, and there is no wrong answer, I promise. The three levels of influence: money, power, and respect. If you could choose only one of those things, which one would you choose and why?
That's a very good question.
Thank you.
Um, having a lot of money, it gives you a lot of power. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But I think the
hmm.
biggest thing for me, I think is respect. I
Okay.
think I think if I have the people's respect, I can influence, and I'm a leader in that case. You know what I'm saying? And I can make change happen that way. I think
Absolutely.
the most change that happens with a lot of money is charities, charitable stuff. You know what I mean? Everything else is selfish gain. There's legacy involved with having a lot of money too, but it just creates spoiled people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think being, and I definitely do want to leave behind a lot of money for my kid. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I just also want her to be fully fully aware of what money does to somebody. Having a lot of money, I think having security, having good money is and having fun too. I think that's really nice, but it also not to let the money change who you are, because money tends to do that. It changes people. You
Yeah,
know,
it definitely tends to do that for sure. But do you
yeah,
think that there's that part of it that people are who they are? It's just I think money just highlights who you already are.
yeah. I think it just depends on the person. People that don't come from money, they don't necessarily struggle with money changing them as much. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I think people that were born into money, they're almost they're almost goners. Like you know what I'm saying? Like born in a really rich families. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time, not all the
Yeah.
time, but a lot of them they just have these smiles on their face. You know what I'm saying? And they say they know exactly what to say to people because they already have influence. It's that kind of like you were talking about with power, you know, power and money, and that you know, I think it's those kind of people that naturally are gonna have it. You know what I mean? Like you could be a little kid in a really rich family, and everyone
Mhm.
that's just like kissing the butts of that family, you know, they're all gonna talk to that little kid like he's their boss. You know what I mean? And I think that right there it makes a person have a conceited self or grandiose mindset and
Right.
they get develop these narcissistic traits and then they become narcissists full blown. Sometimes narcissism is just part of the brain, you know, but you know, I just think that money is, you know, it just can easily consume somebody. And
Definitely.
I don't come from money. So like once I get it, I know and I have that long term security. I'm still gonna be the same person no matter what.
Hmm. That's
I've,
good.
I've always been taken care of, you know, when it comes to money. Like my mom had to work two jobs and stuff. And my grandma we lived on the farm where my grandma, she owned like 180 acres.
Nice.
And yeah. And back in 2020, the farm or my grandma died.
Oh, I'm
And
so sorry.
from COVID. You know, but it's after she died, we all the land ended up getting sold, split portions, because the other parts of the family wanted to sell their portions, and it was a mess. So I got a little bit inheritance from it. So I used that inheritance to invest into my music,
That's
you
good.
know, and focus full time on making my music happen. You know what I'm saying? And looking back, I have all these songs. If I were doing like like a part-time job, even a part-time job, my creativity would have been stifled, would have been, you know, I would have been lacking in passion and creativity. I
Hmm.
noticed, you know, like working jobs, like it's like it really does just it
Take a
it it
toll.
it numbs who you are, it numbs your passion, and numbs
Hmm.
your drive even, you know, you don't have much of a motivation after you get done with work to do anything for your goals or anything like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally understand that. I mean, I was there too, growing up. I was the only one in the family that decided to go to, to take a chance to go to Hollywood and make it, hey, I'm gonna go and make films. I didn't have
Yeah,
anybody I knew in Hollywood at the time, but I just kind of was like a
the
person
leap of
that's like,
faith.
you know what? Yeah, you have to, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to. I think that's a lot of people that make it. It's like it's sheer faith and belief in self, and no matter what happens, you know that what you're doing is your purpose. And so whatever you're doing is, your goal. It's everything's going to happen, even though,
Hmm.
yeah, it's going to be hard times because my God, I had so many hard times too, getting to where I am now. I mean, struggle was real, but I think if you stop, then it's like, well, you don't know what's going to happen on the other side of that. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
It's faith
Yeah.
for sure. I love that what you said. The line
Thank you.
razor edge tongue, always speaking blunt, is powerful. What does that say about your voice as an artist?
It says I'm very authentic. I'm very truthful.
Mm,
Very you listen to my music, you actually learn a lot about me. You know,
mm.
it's a real kind of lyrics, you know what I mean? It's my real life put into my music. It's a little more personal than other artists, you know what I mean?
I
I'm
love
not
that.
afraid to get personal, you know, because I listened to Eminem growing up, you know what I mean? So like I kind of had
Mhm.
that influence onto me. I think he taught me a lot about keeping it authentic. I see that as power itself, like a superpower.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people are afraid to go there, to be vulnerable, to be honest. But I feel
Seen
like
like in that way.
yeah, yeah. And also,
Yeah.
even the rap culture, right? You're supposed to seem like you're a tough guy and never, but I like that,
Hmm.
you're
But you know,
getting vulnerable.
Thank you. It's only like that though because when rap came out, it was used as a way to talk about the police brutality and
Hmm.
but like between Compton and like New York and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. The fact that I think people associate rap music with like gang culture and all that stuff.
Violence.
It's
Hmm.
in violence. It's because it's how. First of all, they use rap as a social experiment anyway.
Yes.
They used it
Yes.
to manipulate and brainwash the minds of people because the same people that own these labels be owning the prisons and stuff. Like they make
100%.
money when you making crimes and getting caught up. Like it's
Yeah.
it's supposed to be it's justice system, yeah, but they profit so much to the justice system. I mean, and not just the justice system, you got like family court system. I mean, every you know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
freaking plague. Corruption, in the world, it's a plague. There's no doubt
Do,
about it. Like I think my main motive is using music to go in the opposite direction in terms of like
mhm.
what music should stand for, what it's about, and like how it's affecting you and what you think about through your day to day. I mean,
Absolutely.
I battle with like depression real bad. Like, right
Mm.
now, I'm dealing with like this. I don't know. I should talk. See, I'm so personal in that, but like this, someone I know that I care about, regardless of all of our history, that she's missing and stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
I'm
it's
so
like,
sorry.
yeah. So I hope so she's all right. So like that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. You could see it on my face.
Hmm.
You can see it on my face when I'm not okay. You can see it on my face when I'm doing good and having a good day. I'm not good at hiding it. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and my music's the same way. When I'm on the mic and I'm in this kind of mood, that's like if I were to get on the mic right now, I'm just gonna be talking like kind of dark stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but like the days that I'm in a good mood and really uplifted, those are the days where I'm like gonna be like either I could even bring out like an alter ego type ordeal when I'll start rapping and just like just be all funny and stuff, humorous. I just got different approaches when it comes to it, but like
That's good.
I'm always real, I'm always authentic. You know what I mean? And I always display my passion really well and what the
I
things I
love
care
that.
about.
I
Yeah,
love that. This, I thank you so much for being so completely transparent on this show because I think that's important. I think a lot of people, when they listen to this show, what they love is hearing from people like yourself, artists, the creative, who is living the life. You are living the journey of what a lot of people want to do. And I
yeah,
think just hearing it firsthand, the lows as well, but not just the
mhm,
highs, but also the lows. It kind of goes hand in hand with this journey, but not letting the
yeah.
lows define who you are.
Thank
It's a
you.
process for
No
sure.
problem. Like I appreciate you having me on here and everything. I'd say the biggest thing is like when you're in the industry or when you're making music, it's
Hmm.
like you you have to deal with a lot of feelings of being misunderstood, feelings of being misunderstood, and also feelings of
Oh yeah.
not being liked. When you're doing good in anything, you get haters, and like definitely I deal with like either people like believing in me and it's a lot of silent admiration, you know what I mean?
Isn't that
But
interesting?
yeah, yeah, like see, I mean, honestly,
They'll
like this
watch
is
your
I'm just
stories, but no one's gonna like your and support
yeah,
your
I
stuff.
was about to
Isn't that
say
funny?
yeah, it is. I was gonna let's keep it 100% real. Like I see people that have way too much um likes on their stuff or whatever, whether it's their music or whatever, and I just don't. It's mediocre content, you know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? But I see my shit. I mean, stuff, and it's like I don't know if you cuss on here, so
You're good. You're good.
okay. My stuff, the great potential that it is, and being worldwide and whatnot. I see what it is. You know what I mean? And it's like you just get a lot of people checking it out, but not commenting and not liking it because they know. They don't
Hmm.
want you to. They don't want you to feel. A lot of people don't want you to feel that support system.
Hmm.
It's
You
either
know,
that or go ahead.
yeah, it's either that or what else?
Oh, I was gonna say it's either that or it's that they are they are legitimately already like a fan or admiring to the point where it's like they're kind of nervous to show themselves in that way to you. There's
Mm-hmm.
different reasons I think, but I stopped looking at it. I started only validating myself.
That's right. That's all you have to do. Because, one thing I notice with a lot of people that have made it, or, your Eminems, he's not going to, I'm sure he sees it. And I'm sure people who grew up with him kind of thought, oh, well, who's this guy? Greatest rapper of
Yeah.
all time. This guy wasn't this guy growing up. What the heck? I'm sure.
He got discovered when by being by losing a rap battle,
Right.
and he was down in the dumps, and the dude was like, "Hey, can I get one of your mixtapes?" Like, sure, yeah, whatever, man. He's like, "Yeah, yo, whatever," you know. But yeah, he threw him his tape, and then I think he ended up swallowing. You know, me and Eminem actually have a lot of similarities. Like, he had an uncle, he had a uncle Ronnie who
Hmm.
killed himself over a bitch that didn't want
Mm.
him. I
Jeez.
have an uncle Johnny that and then his mom's name is Debbie Mathers, and then my mom's name is Debbie McCoy.
Oh,
But
wow.
like no, not gonna say there's similarities in them or anything, but like and both of our uncles killed themselves. You know what I'm saying? Is basically what I'm
Mm.
saying. And I was also really close to my uncle. He was really close to his, and like and also just like just just a lot of his feelings that he has that he talks about, and I think we all resonate with a lot of the stuff that he talks about because he's so authentic.
Hmm.
He's a real life human being when everyone is so always about the facade, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
they care so much about being something they're not, which makes them superficial.
Absolutely. Do you think that, that the music world has changed for the better? Because, essentially you're going up against people that are on the Billboard charts as well, right? I mean, people that are very well established.
Mhm.
Um, do you feel like indie artists have a lot more room to grow and reach audiences, or is it still kind of curated by, I don't
I
know.
think I think that the biggest thing is that we have a lot of people. It's this generation is so focused on sound, things sounding good. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah, my stuff sounds good. I'm not using like a bunch of auto tune on my stuff, and it sounds good. I don't use auto
Hmm.
tune on Invincible. Don't have any auto tune on it. You know what I mean? And
Nice.
like there's just like you can just feel my passion whenever I'm rapping. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like that's all that matters. And like not everyone has that ability to really show their emotion whenever they're flowing. You know what I mean? Like I
Hmm.
let it be known. You can feel my pain and stuff. And it's an ability. It's a transparent ability. A lot of people
Yeah,
are
to
just gonna
reach the
be like,
people.
gotta get the hoe, gotta get the respect. You know what I mean? And and like it's yeah, you can turn up to that. You know what I mean? But like I'm not gonna put my headphones on and jam to it. I'm really feeling the lyrics. I'm a big lyrics person. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So like when it comes down to it, I gotta feel the lyrics. And like I'd say that lacks in a lot of this music nowadays. You see a lot of Christian rappers and yeah, they're talking about Jesus. What else you talking about? I love God. I love Jesus, you know
mhm.
what I mean? But God gave us music. It's not just to worship. Okay,
Right.
that's one thing these Christian rappers will say, like, oh, music is made to worship. And no, look, my God, the one I believe in, like he gave us tools to get through and heal people and like there's people that really need to hear things like really that people that really need to hear certain stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, like real
people
life
dealing with
things like
depression, like
depression. Yeah.
knowing they're not
Hmm.
alone, and hearing certain lyrics in a song that's well put together. Someone actually got that skill level. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like I'm a big fan of like NF. You know what I mean? I like
Oh
NF.
yeah, NF's great.
Yeah, and like I think there's a lot of his songs, especially with the getting into music industry. Like I was listening. I love that song by NF. It's called Nate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Or
yeah, that's
Time to
good.
Grow Up. Time to Grow
Hmm.
Up. When I Grow Up is what it is. And it's like those kind of songs help the artists that are trying to be an artist big time. You know what I'm saying? Like hearing that, like it's a personal kind of relative thing. But you got a lot of artists that just don't go to that level of introspection and therapeutic you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
they
vulnerability,
don't.
and just
Hmm. They want to stay
it's
surface.
creative authenticity.
Yeah.
It's the mixture of creativity and authenticity. Being able to
Hmm.
get creative with your wordplay and also um be authentic. Talk about what you have going on.
Right.
Like you got Mac
Absolutely.
Miller who he'll be rapping like be like, he'll rap about his Nike shoes and stuff, right? And like, then he'll talk about this. He uses clever stuff, like he'll bring God into, like, he was really poetic, and he'll paint pictures for you. You know what I mean, with his words.
Nice.
That's a different kind of music, but it's therapeutic still. You know what I mean? And I like to listen to it too, especially if I'm smoking weed or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, then you got the kind of music that's like really, it touches your core of who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It really, you can resonate with it. And that's just where I'm naturally drawn.
I like
You
that.
know?
What do you want like your audience and or the listeners to walk away with once they listen to this song?
Um, that, um, consistency is more important than raw talent.
Mm,
As big of a deal as raw talent is, you can develop a skill very well and become pretty good at something with consistency. You start off not so good at it. I've always been
hmm
a really great singer, but rapping when I started off, I was not like, I don't know. I kind of was a natural at it, but like it was at the same time, like it really helped me a lot that I could read the rap lyrics very
hmm
without sounding so much like I'm reading, you know what I mean? I could read
hmm
it fast and stuff. Because if not, then I'd have to memorize every song before I perform it. And like
Nice.
I think the biggest thing is, like I said, consistency is. I mean, having a mixture of raw talent and staying consistent is a very big deal.
Absolutely.
I think that's what's kept me having faith in myself is
I love that.
the fact that I have. I mean, I don't feel like I could do anything else. I really don't feel like I am here to do anything else. If I were to get a normal job, first of all, I would my credentials for that normal job. It's like, I mean, I'm overqualified because
Right.
what I built up here, with all the consistency, even with people all doubting me and laughing at my dreams and stuff for a long time and
hmm
mocking it, I still was building my credentials up.
Nice.
I got XP. You know what I mean? I got actual songs, like a bunch of them. But that's like that was a journey right there. Like I flew to LA and worked with Ronnie Beats, made a song called "What You See,"
Nice.
and yeah, and like that song's amazing. You know what I mean? And I there's a music video and I'm on the beach down there, you
Right.
know, and like, like just that journey itself and being in
Mhm.
LA and then just the song. It's a song where I talk to God in the song. That was a big inspiring moment in my life. And I legitimately do feel like consistency outweighs the raw talent at the end of the day. Like, because your consistency also shows, it gives people a lot of stuff to look through and to listen
Yeah.
to. Now, that doesn't mean quality at the same time, quality matters over quantity. You know what I'm
hmm
trying to say? At the same time, quality matters over quantity. But when you're
I
going through the
agree.
journey and beginning, like consistency, it builds up the ability to have
The
quality.
resume. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not going to get quality. You can't start off in the beginning and just focus on making sure it's quality over
hmm
quantity because it's the quantity. It's the over and over again being on the mic and dropping the records and making sure they're hot and making sure they're right. You know what I mean? Over and over
Yeah.
again. It's that's always going to be what builds up your quality. You know, you can
Absolutely.
whenever you're pausing the record, like you click pause, you record for like a couple measures and then pause. Like, yo, I gotta spit it from a dome. It's all but no, and then pause, and
hmm
then you record it from there. Yeah, I'm all about my growth. I'm about it for show, whatever, you know what I mean? Like from there and just keep going. Like it's literally like it's like you're killing the cadence.
Mm.
There's a certain pocket that whenever you're recording a verse, I think that
Mhm.
like I do one take verses because or at least half
Nice.
of a verse, but usually it's one take verse. And because it keeps that emotion going and building up and also you can really feel the cadence better in like the pocket, you know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah, there was one. Who's that artist that said he never writes anything down? Was it Lil Wayne or
Lil Wayne and
Jay-Z?
Juice World.
Oh, Juice WRLD. Yeah,
Jay
like
Z Jay Z also is freestyle.
yeah, like
No,
I
Jay
think
Z
it's
he writes it in his head is what he does.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's bananas. I just think about people like, I think like you said, I think it's just, when you know your purpose and you found like that's what you just said yourself, you can't see yourself doing anything else,
yeah,
because that's you found your purpose, the lane that the gift that God's given you to do it. And
hmm
yes, you're gonna have doubters, you're gonna have the naysayers that look down on you. But you know what? it's like they're going to keep watching. I think the haters are great because they're the ones that watch you from, but silently. So they're
Your
the one
haters watch you
keeping the,
more. Yeah, your haters be watching you more. They're the
you
closet
know,
fans.
closet fans.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, I have a question that I really love asking every guest. And, I think that one thing I love about this journey, of all the uncertainty that's around it, we love what we do. That's the bottom line.
Hmm.
But in those moments of those hard times and those moments that you kind of felt like your back was against the wall and you felt like, okay, I'm done with this. I quit. Um, you know, like you said earlier, the consistency, you love what you do. That's what keeps
Hmm.
you going. For those that are, you know, up and coming, the younger generation that are trying to do music and trying to do what you're doing and to create something, what advice would you give them?
Um, Learn how to do your engineering yourself. Learn how to do it, make it an independent kind of journey because, a lot of times in this line of work, you're gonna have a lot of people just want to hustle you. A lot of people want to take you for granted. If they're gonna mix your stuff, they're not gonna do it to the fullest extent. You know what I mean? And not gonna there's a certain artistry when it comes to the mixing, and
Yeah.
also being able like knowing that you like they're not gonna give it your all. You know what I'm trying to say? Or their all
Hmm.
whenever it comes to the
Hmm.
music. Like they're going to just give you like this simple plain master. You know what I mean? It's whenever you get a team behind your back to work with your music with you, like and that's I'm like having like a consistent, passionate producer is a big deal. Um, just you have a lot of people with so-called studios that just it's a home studio with it's just like this is right here, but the person is just trying to get your money and he's not passionate about your art. So I think a big deal is being able to do your stuff on your own, finding that
Yeah.
joy in it. You know what I mean? Finding watch some YouTube videos or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just learning how to enjoy it.
Hmm.
It's a journey for sure.
I love that. If you could confront the version of yourself that choose comfort over truth, what would you say to them?
See, that would be like the younger version of me back when I
Mm.
would try to conform. I think we all did when we were young. But when I did it, I would just feel like an ass. You know what I mean? So I could really be myself when I was alone. So
Mm.
now I can be myself no matter where I'm at on a podcast. That's a skill. It's a skill.
Yeah,
It's something
for
that
sure.
over time you learn how to develop. Not
Yeah.
being afraid to be seen by the world as like for who you are, facing your shadow side. Like having that awakening, going through that dark
Mm.
night of the soul. Like see, I'm a firm believer in Christ, but also the new age spirituality stuff. Like those are raw terms, and they're actual things. Like your pineal gland opening up. I went through that stuff. My
Mm-hmm.
third eye awakening up, and it really, that's why I started making music and treating it as a passion, like a dream to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't ever just a hobby for me, but like
Nice.
it's because I realized then like I can't work these jobs I mean where's the longevity in working at Walmart, you know what I mean? Like and what am I gonna how is that gonna fulfill me in it?
Right.
Like
Right.
how is that helping me in it? You know what I mean? Like and I need to live a fulfilling life where I get a lot of stuff done where I can look back and just be like, yeah, like I did that. So I think the biggest thing talking to younger me or the one that preferred comfort over truth is like you'll grow out of that. You'll get it because who you are, life it either breaks you or it makes you. You either grow through the
Yeah.
pain or you go through it. It just depends on who you are, the kind of fighting spirit
Depends
you
on who
got.
you are.
Yeah, not everyone's destined to do big things. And
That's true. That's true.
if it were the case, then we'd have a lot of jobs that need, I mean, and I don't mean that in any kind of rude way. I
Right.
think we all can find purpose in every, as long as you're happy in life, as long as
Yeah.
you are living a fulfilling life to you. Just because I'm talking about something through my perspective, it's never a way of being like, oh, this guy just thinks he's just so much better or whatever. Like, I don't
Oh,
want
it's
to be, I
confidence.
want to be, I want to, yeah, exactly. But I deal with a lot of people projecting. Like oh, I have so many people that project on me. But
I'm sure. I'm sure you do. And I think that's the thing is when you put yourself out there, you're it's like, I always say I tell people like what we do as our job and we put our talent and our gift and we display it to the world to see
yeah,
and judge. It is a part of the process, but I kind of welcome that too because it definitely makes me stronger, makes me more sharper to want to come back and like sharpen my skills and do better. But
yes.
um okay, one of the last questions is if you could perform with any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why?
I think either NF or Eminem. But like I honestly Eminem like that's a he's gonna I like to have like the most I like to be like I like to I mean I've never had a song with anybody to where they outshine me. So like both of them are gonna probably like I don't know. I'm gonna just keep it humble, but like what I mean. Like I know that they bring out. I'd say Eminem. I'd want to go for Eminem. You know why?
Nice.
Because it's gonna bring out. I'm gonna level up. I'm gonna level up
Nice.
because it's that competitiveness inside of me. I have huge competitiveness. Like if someone like I'll rewrite a verse if someone's like doing like
Oh,
they
oh yeah, you get like a
yeah,
feature or something.
I will rewrite that verse and I'll do it like with hunger. Like, oh, okay, I see you. And like, what I mean, like I'll like, I didn't know you could show up like that. Yeah, anytime I do a feature with someone, it's like they're always trying to like give it their all and stuff, and I
Right.
was just sitting there like chilling, like what I mean. There's like usually now, I don't know. That's where
That's
I had to learn.
awesome.
I had to learn how to keep it humble and confident. You know what I'm trying to say? Because people take it
Yeah,
wrong.
have that balance. Yeah, I know what you mean. But hey, I'm a kind of person like, and when you're in the rap in the music world, you kind of have to keep. That's kind of what
It's all about
you know what I
confidence.
mean. That's
Yeah.
what it's about, and it
They're
is
just
what it
mad.
is.
People just be
Yeah,
mad because they want that kind of confidence. They want to have that kind of confidence.
right. Where can people find you and follow you on social media?
Um, on well, my name's Prodigy, PRODG, stands for professional rapper. Old Dylan's gone. That's what it stands
Nice,
for. And you can find me like on TikTok. It's Prodigy Son, PRODGSON. Um, and then like my name's Dylan McCoy on Facebook. I have a verified check mark on there. I combine my personal life and my music together. That's how crazy I am. But my music's all on there. I have a bunch of songs on there. So
nice,
and like
awesome.
but like because that's where I grew like that, networking like that. People were like, hey, do you see what he posted, that song? Oh, you see that he posted, and a bunch of people just spread it, and now like I got songs of like my Invincible music video has like 24.7K views now.
Nice, nice.
Just
That's
like
awesome.
yeah, it's it's
I mean,
it's
as an indie
unique where
artist, that's really good, because like a
yeah.
lot of people don't do those numbers, and
It
it's hard to
wasn't
get
like a
people to
TikTok.
listen.
It wasn't like TikTok. You know what I mean? How
Yeah,
TikTok gives you a lot of views where the algorithm pushes it on a bunch of people. These views are all organic where people came back and clicked. They naturally
nice.
came and clicked on it. Like it was a slow time build up, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, it's just on everyone's feed.
Right.
It wasn't pushed like that. It wasn't posted as a reel even. It's just a post.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it wasn't.
awesome.
It didn't just show up on people's like algorithm. That many views based on people coming back and click on it and listening.
Very cool. So what's next if you can give a little piece sneak peek for the listeners that you have coming down the pipeline?
Well, I have right now I have like scouts like for labels and stuff that visit my page
Nice.
right now. I know because I can see my people you may know, and so like I like I don't know what's next. I hope I just feel something big's coming, but when it my own personal projects. I just been doing what I've been doing, posting music and stuff. But like, I
Nice.
have a feeling something's gonna come where I need at least a distribution deal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And having a distribution deal, like I'm tired of making music that's not at its fullest potential. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I need to be working with a team. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that. I mean, to make the song be what it definitely can be, because my
Hmm.
skills there.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
hungry for that outcome for more because I have songs that like Invincible and like What You See and like just like I have music where I did, but it takes so much money investing and like it's I'm tired of doing it on my own. I'm ready to have a team.
Yeah,
Ready
yeah.
to,
And your mouth to God's ears. It'll happen for sure.
yeah, yeah. Consistency is key. They
That's
want to
right.
see someone stay consistent. They want to see someone that stays driven.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. And it was such a pleasure talking to you and hearing about your
You as well.
journey.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Come back on and whatever you have coming down the pipeline on the show, come back. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Keep in touch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.